Good morning, kids. Here I am again with the very fourth video of the second chapter of Geography from Integrated Social Science, that is latitudes and longitudes. In the previous module, we have already learned about the heat zones as well as the meridians or longitudes, isn't it? And we know about what we know about the heat zones, the that all the parts of the earth does not receive the same amount of heat, isn't it? So depending on the heat received, the earth has been divided into three heat zones, and the important parallels play a very important role in dividing the earth into three heat zones, and those three heat zones are the torrid zone, that is the zone between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south. Then temperate zone divided into two zones, that is north temperate zone in northern hemisphere and south temperate zone in the southern hemisphere. North temperate zone lying between 23.5 degree north and 66.5 degree north, whereas the south temperate zone lying between 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south, and the last zone is the frigid zone. Okay, and this frigid zone has also been divided into north frigid zone and south frigid zone. Okay, north frigid zone is from Arctic Circle to North Pole, that is 66.5 degree north to 90 degree north, and Antarctic Circle to South Pole, that is 66.5 degree south to 90 degree south, is the south frigid zone. Okay, and apart from that, we have also read about the meridians, which are also known as lines of longitudes as well as measuring longitudes. Okay, in this module, the topics which we are going to cover, let us have a look. The topics are locating places on the globe and longitude and time. Okay, so we will be reading these two topics right now. So let us start the topics. So here I have given you a figure. As you can see, there is a figure and there is a point P over there. Okay, so with the help of this figure, we'll be finding out the location of that point P. Okay, so let us discuss first what things do we require. Okay, do we have, okay, what things do we actually require to find out the location of that point P? So as we have already read in our previous classes, the globe, which is the true representation of the earth, is having two set of circles, isn't it? In one set, circles run from west to east and are parallel to the equator, hence called parallels. Okay, and in the second set, the circles run from north to south and pass through the north pole and the south pole, and is called meridian or lines of longitude. The latitudes help us find out the places towards the north or south of the equator, and the longitudes help us know the places which is toward the east or west of the prime meridian. Okay, so let us see, find out P, the location of P, and let me tell you one more thing, that whenever we have to write a location, okay, we write the latitudes first. Okay, what do we write first? We have to write the latitude first and then we'll follow it up with the longitude. Okay, so let us see point P. These are the parallels, as you can see. Okay, these are the parallels. This is the equator. Let us find out first to which direction is P from the equator. So it is quite evident here in the figure that it is to the north, isn't it? So if it is to the north of the equator, this means that the latitude is towards the north. And let us see, whenever we have to find out the latitude, we'll see vertically, okay, because we have to take equator as our instance. So here it is 0 degree, okay, 0 degree of equator, then 20 degree, then, and we have to find the degree, isn't it? The angular, we have to take center as the center of the earth, okay, and from there we'll be drawing the angle, isn't it? So as we can see, as we have taken this one as the center, okay, so this center you can see here that it is making an angle of 50 degree, and we always try to find out latitudes for vertically, okay, the position of the particular point. If we are finding it in terms of parallels, then we have to see vertically, okay. So it is lying between the 40 degree and 60 degree, that is 50 degree, okay. So the position of P is 50 degree latitude, that is 50 degree, and let us find out the longitude. We will see the horizontal lines, isn't it? Which lines we have to see? We have to see the horizontal one, isn't it? Let us see. And we'll see first that to which direction the point P is lying, okay, from the prime meridian, to the west or to the east. So it is lying to the west, that is, we'll be moving this side. You can see here prime meridian 0, then 15, then 30, then 45, then 60, okay. So the longitude is 60 degree longitude, and in the west direction, so we'll be writing 60 degree west, okay. So what is the location of point P? The location of point P is 50 degree north and 60 degree west, okay. So let us move on to the next topic, that is longitude and time. Let the school reopen, then I'll give you guys the activity to find out the location of certain places, okay, and then we'll see what you guys have learned, okay, because I know if I'll be giving you homework right now or activity related to it right now, you'll cheat and you'll copy it from Google. That is why, okay, I am going to give you this question when the school will reopen, okay, we'll have fun. So in ancient times, changing seasons, day and night, and the position of the sun were some of the means to estimate time, isn't it? People observed the path of the sun in the sky to estimate the time. Our global time system is oriented to the sun. The relationship between the sun and the earth is considered as the best timekeeper in the world. Every day we notice the sun rises in the east and moves across the sky from east to west. Okay, is the sun moving? No, the planet is rotating, and that is why we feel that the earth is rising from the east and is setting up in west. Okay, the apparent movement of the sun across the sky is due to the rotation of the earth on its axis from west to east. The rotation of the earth gives us the measure of the day, that is about 24 hours. And the earth, as we know, rotates from west to east and complete one rotation in 24 hours. This also means that it is completing a full circle which has 360 degrees, isn't it? So 360 degrees means the 360 longitudes face the midday sun one after the other in 24 hours. Okay. So thus the earth rotates through 360 degrees of longitude in about 24 hours. So the earth rotates how many degrees in 1 hour? Let us divide 360 with 24. Come on, be quick. Okay. So how many degrees in 1 hour? 15 degrees in 1 hour. If 15 degrees in 1 hour, then 1 degree, then the earth rotates 1 degree in what time period? Okay, it completes 1 degree of longitude in 4 minutes, isn't it? So see, there is a direct relationship between the longitude of a place and the time at that place. As the earth rotates, every meridian on the earth faces the sun. It's quite clear because it is completing a circle, a rotation, that is 360 degrees, 360 longitude it is completing. So that is why every meridian on the earth faces the sun once a day, and this is the time when sun reaches the highest point in the sky. The word meridian actually stands for midday. The time difference between any two places is due to the difference in longitude of two places. We'll be finding out time difference soon. Okay, let us move on to the another slide, and let us understand the concept through various examples. Let us start from the prime meridian at Greenwich, which is also called 0-degree longitude, isn't it? When the sun is at the highest point in the sky at Greenwich, all the places along the prime meridian will have midday or noontime. As the earth rotates from west to east, the places towards the east of the prime meridian will have sunrise earlier than those places situated at the west, because so as you can see here, Tokyo experiences sunrise before London, and London experiences sunrise before New York. As you can see here, okay, the places to the east will be ahead and the places to the west will be behind, okay, will be behind the Greenwich time, as they had not yet had noon time. Let us understand the above concept using an example. So let us have, when the sun is at the highest point in the sky in London, let us consider that London is having the noon time, okay. So let us find out that what time is having in Tokyo, okay, and what is the timing in New York, okay. What phase of the day are these two countries experiencing? So we have already discussed that the places towards the east will have the sunrise earlier, and the places towards the west will experience it later, okay. So see here, if we are having noon in London, okay, so towards the east, because when we'll move towards the east, that the places in the east will always be ahead, okay. So if London is experiencing noon, then for sure Tokyo is having evening, isn't it? Tokyo is having evening. Tokyo, which is towards the east of the London, has already had noon time. We already know that places towards the east will be ahead of the Greenwich time. So if Greenwich time, that is London, is experiencing noon, then Tokyo might be experiencing evening. And what about the New York? And we know that New York, which is towards the west of the London, will be having morning, isn't it? Because we know that the places toward the east of prime meridian will have sunrise earlier than those places situated at the west. And we also know that the places which are towards the east of the prime meridian will be ahead of the Greenwich time, and those towards the west of the prime meridian will be behind the Greenwich time. Let us take one more example. Suppose Kolkata, okay, let us find out the time difference, okay, because I have discussed one point there, okay. What was the point? The time difference between any two places is due to the difference in longitude of those two places. So we have to find out the time difference now, okay. So let us have an example. If Kolkata is at 90° east and London is at 0° longitude, okay, 0° longitude. So what is the time difference? If we subtract the longitudes, we'll find out 90 degrees, okay. And we have to find out, we know that in 1 hour we have 15 degrees, okay. How many degrees? In 1 hour, 15 degrees. Let us divide 90 degree with 15 degrees. What you will get? 6. So the time difference between the Kolkata and London is 6 hours. See here, 360 degrees covered in 24 hours. Therefore, 15 degrees covered in 1 hour. Hence, 90 degrees will be covered in 6 hours. Okay, and we know as Kolkata is towards the east of longitude, so the Kolkata will be 6 hours ahead of the London, isn't it? This is all for today. We learned how to find out location of the place and how to find out the time difference between two places. In the next module, we'll be dealing with local time. Okay, we'll try to learn how to find out the exact time. This time we have understood how to find out the time, the difference between the time. Okay, in the next module, we'll learn to find out the exact time. Okay, so if London is having suppose 12 p.m. Okay, so what will be the time at Kolkata? We'll be finding these things in the next module, and we'll be learning about standard time as well as time zones. Till then, have a nice day. Okay, I call it a day and I'm wrapping it up. Have a very nice day. Do see the modules again and again to have a clear picture. And you guys have already got the book, so please do go through the book and do see the videos first before reading the chapter, and do read the chapter thoroughly. Okay, do not read the whole chapter a single day. Try to read at least a page. Okay, at least a page a single day. Okay, and try to make questions yourselves. Okay, have a nice day.